you just sit there and go,
Yeah, well, not only that, how about the fact that this guy was running this for decades? He was doing this for decades to who knows how many people, and everybody was scared to talk about it because he'd have them killed. Yeah, it's really wild, man. I think there's so many powerful people that are on those lists. There's so many powerful people that went and partied. Air quotes, partied. And how many of them went to the Diddy parties? Have you been paying attention to the trial?
Oh, yeah.
Joe Rogan just exposed the real reason Hollywood went dead silent when it was time to testify against Diddy. According to Rogan, it's not fear holding them back. It is self-preservation. Too many powerful names are tied to this same dark world. If they speak up against him, they aren't just exposing Diddy. They're exposing themselves. Rogan isn't the first to say it, either. 50 Cent has been hinting at this from the start, making it clear he is the only one willing to talk while the rest of the industry hides. In this case, the silence speaks louder than any testimony ever could.
To ask questions like, were their decisions colored by certain things, and who got the benefit of the doubt, you know, in that courtroom?
Do you think that hip-hop culture was on trial as much as Sean Combs was?
No, look, if I didn't say anything, you would interpret it as the hip-hop is fine with his behaviors. There's no one else being vocal. So you would look at it and just say, because that mind your business, or let me not say nothing about nothing, or those things, it would allow the entire culture to register as if they're for that behavior.
If you have been listening to the whispers in Hollywood, this shouldn't come as a shock. For months, there has been a steady stream of rumors regarding unseen tapes that are allegedly circulating behind closed doors.
You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
yes.
The shopping thing is
Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood.
We aren't talking about innocent party clips here. These are allegedly recordings of illegal activities and the infamous freak-offs. Footage toxic enough to end careers overnight. We are talking about A-list household names, and rumor has it, every single tape traces back to Diddy's empire. These weren't just nights fueled by champagne. According to insiders, these were environments where all boundaries disappeared, and cameras were secretly rolling when guests had no idea. The most disturbing part? Many of these celebrities allegedly didn't know they were being filmed. The word on the street is that Diddy held onto this footage as leverage, an insurance policy to keep powerful people under his control. This is exactly why Joe Rogan's analysis rings true. The silence isn't about loyalty. It's about survival. People are staying quiet because exposing him could mean destroying themselves. When you combine that with what 50 Cent, Jaguar Wright, and Gene Deal have been saying for years, the reality becomes terrifying.
Sat right here and told y'all there was activity on the darknet. Videos were being distributed and were going to be sold for profit because the diddler needs the money. Did I not say that?
You said that.
Right here.
I was saying.
Those people who was caught at Diddy party did not know that he had 250 tape recorders in that house. That's a big house. But he had 250 tape recorders.
If Diddy actually possesses footage of powerful people in compromising situations, then taking the stand isn't an act of bravery, it is career suicide. When you realize that, the silence from certain celebrities starts to make perfect sense. The first name that comes to mind is Stevie J. He isn't just an associate. He is the DNA of Bad Boy Records. He was there during the golden era, sitting in the rooms where the real decisions were made. When the feds raided Diddy's properties, Stevie didn't distance himself like everyone else. He doubled down. He went on interviews, defended Diddy publicly, and called him family. He was actually inside the Miami mansion when the raid happened, describing the moment Homeland Security breached the door and he saw laser sights on his chest. But that level of loyalty raised major red flags. According to Lil Rod's lawsuit, Stevie wasn't just a bystander. He was allegedly an active participant. The claims suggest he helped coordinate escorts and handle the logistics for those infamous late-night events, keeping Diddy's hands clean.
You're hanging out with Diddy in his mansion in Miami,
and Homeland Security rushes in. While you're there.
While I'm there, Dolo.
You're there by yourself.
Yeah. With the, he has some employees there. And
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
So suddenly there's red dots all over your shirt.
Yeah. I'm like, damn, this is crazy.
There are even rumors of leaked clips showing Stevie himself involved in the action. Yet, despite the federal scrutiny, Stevie remains loud, unafraid, and strangely comfortable.
Hopefully the truth will prevail.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we got to just see how it plays out.
Yeah.
I'm never going to stop being there for someone I consider to be a friend to me.
As you should.
I'm not going to turn my back. And it's like, I've been scrutinized just by being a friend. I guess someone never had a true friend.
People are starting to ask, is that true confidence? Or is it just fear disguised as loyalty? This brings us to another major name. Cuba Gooding Jr. For years, he and Diddy were inseparable, seen partying on yachts and taking vacations together. But everything changed when Lil Rod's lawsuit dropped. Suddenly, Cuba's name wasn't just gossip, it was cited in legal documents. According to the filing, Diddy introduced Lil Rod to Cuba during a trip to the Virgin Islands. Rod alleges that the interaction quickly crossed the line, accusing the actor of unwanted advances and ignoring clear boundaries. Cuba has denied every single allegation, stating he woke up to a nightmare headline he never saw coming.
How do you fully escape it though? Like your name, for example, was mentioned in the Diddy case.
Which was the most ridiculous thing ever.
Because you barely know
This is the
right?
most ridiculous thing ever. But again, welcome to being a celebrity. Welcome to my world.
However, the public didn't respond with sympathy. They responded with suspicion. This was especially true when Cuba publicly offered prayers and support for Diddy right before the sentencing. At a time when everyone else was scrambling to distance themselves, Cuba leaned in. In the court of public opinion, that kind of timing feels far from accidental. Then there is Usher, whose story might be the most disturbing of them all. It is a documented fact that Usher actually lived with Diddy as a teenager. For years, he has been very careful about how he describes that period, often choosing his words wisely and admitting that what he witnessed back then was curious.
Moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you
New
over
York
to
City.
something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
I was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
Did you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
Back then, it seemed vague. Today, it sounds like a warning. And when you connect Usher's experience to Justin Bieber, the pattern becomes impossible to ignore. Justin was just 13 when he was brought into Diddy's world. There is resurfaced footage of Diddy bragging about having 48 hours alone with the young star, explicitly stating that what happened during that time was not for the public to know.
Check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I have been given custody of him. He signed to Usher.
Who signed to Usher?
I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So, and we gonna go full crazy.
I'm going crazy.
At the time, everyone laughed it off as just another industry joke. But looking back now, that footage is absolutely chilling. This is especially true when you connect it to the timeline of Justin's life. The public breakdowns, the battles with addiction, and his sudden isolation. He quietly cut off the people tied to his early career, and his emotional interviews about betrayal now take on a much darker meaning.
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they loved me and, just turn their back on you in a second.
Then, he made a move that spoke volumes without saying a word. He unfollowed his former manager, Scooter Braun. On the surface, an Instagram unfollow seems like a minor detail.
Really minor.
It sounds sort of very high school.
But it is a big deal, especially for celebrities. And then the really surprising thing is after Justin did that, Scooter deactivated his entire Instagram.
Even his recent efforts to protect younger artists like Billie Eilish don't feel random at all when viewed through this lens. Instead, they look like the actions of someone trying to prevent history from repeating itself.
I just want to protect her, you know? I don't want her to go through anything I went through, wish that upon anybody. Yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call away.
And it's not just internet speculation. Public figures like Candace Owens have openly questioned what really happened to Justin behind closed doors, suggesting his clean-cut image was masking something far darker.
We have Justin Bieber must speak about this, you guys. He's apparently unfollowed all of his closest Hollywood managers, even the bodyguard, in a sign that some people are saying is more evidence of the Diddy fallout.
So when the Diddy news broke and both Usher and Justin stayed completely silent, the public took that as confirmation. Something shady definitely went down. This brings us to Brisher Gray. Fans of Empire remember him as a massive breakout star, but his fall from grace was sudden, messy, and brutal. We watched him spiral from the top of the charts into arrests and a mental health collapse. According to allegations from Terrence Howard and Jaguar Wright, this wasn't random. They claim Brisher was pulled into elite circles he was not prepared for, circles allegedly involving Diddy, Will Smith, and other powerful figures.
They're trying to sell him out so he'll feel too embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him, with Jaden and Justin present. That tape
Brisher himself has reportedly claimed that none of this was accidental. He alleges that industry players targeted him with psychological warfare and sabotage, using him up until he was no longer profitable, then throwing him away. But the web goes much wider than just actors. Let's talk about Naomi Campbell. It seems like every time Diddy and Jeffrey Epstein are mentioned in the same breath, her name surfaces. We are talking about private islands, elite guest lists, and ironclad NDAs. The same dark rumors that followed Epstein for years are now being whispered about Diddy's inner circle, and Naomi's presence keeps coming up in the files. Some insiders claim she wasn't just a guest at these parties. The allegation is that she helped facilitate introductions under the guise of modeling careers, promising fame in exchange for silence and obedience. Now, it is important to note, Naomi has denied every single one of these claims, even stating she had no knowledge of Epstein's crimes.
The paper does manage to make it clear that you were not aware of Epstein activities. Did you know who he was?
Yes, I knew him. I was introduced to him on my 31st birthday by my ex-boyfriend Flavio. He was always front and center at Victoria's Secret shows.
Did you suspect what he was doing?
No. And what he's done is indefensible. And when I heard of what he'd done, it sickened me to my stomach, just like every...
But the public isn't buying it. Fans are dissecting her interviews, pointing to her body language and her ability to survive scandal after scandal without a scratch. One comment summed up the general sentiment perfectly. Her body language says it all. She knew. It becomes even harder to ignore when you look at their history. Rumors have long suggested that she and Diddy were romantically linked in the early 2000s. There is even footage of Diddy flying all the way to London with Young Miami just to surprise Naomi for her doctorate. That level of effort suggests a connection far deeper than just a casual friendship. And then, there is the biggest name of all, Jay-Z. For decades, Jay and Diddy moved as one, twin moguls ruling the same circles with the same level of power. As Jaguar Wright famously put it, they were inseparable, like peanut butter and jelly, right up until the moment the RICO charges hit.
Tell me something. When you have a peanut butter jelly sandwich, if it's just peanut butter, it's just peanut butter. If it's just jelly, it's jelly. When you put it together, it becomes a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and the taste is undeniable.
Mm-hmm. You saying Diddy and Jay-Z is peanut butter jelly?
Peanut butter and jelly.
That's when Jay went silent. He pulled back quickly and created distance. And even though he's already sidestepped one major legal storm, people are still watching closely. Because if Diddy ever decides to speak openly, Jay's name isn't likely to stay out of the conversation forever. And then there's Meek Mill. The rumors around Meek haven't let up. Online talk keeps painting him as one of Diddy's inner circle favorites. Meek has pushed back hard against that narrative, denying it publicly and even posting strong no Diddy statements online to shut it down.
What's up? Yeah, y'all already know we playing out that's real life. Real life. No Diddy gang, Meek Mill in real life. Don't ever disrespect me, you heard? Talk that Meek. Yeah, Meek.
But the chatter never actually died down. At one point, Lil Rod dropped a hint about a Philly rapper who had previously dated Nicki Minaj, and nobody needed clues to connect the dots. Meek's response online only added to the fire. He went on emotional posts, talking about being a real king who came up from the trenches, blaming fake pages and bots for trying to stain his name, and even firing off warnings at commentators and academics who kept the conversation going.
We got a lawsuit, so the Lil Rod lawsuit we got.
Yeah, I read through the whole thing.
And it didn't mention Meek by name, but there was a footnote.
A Philly rapper who used to date Nicki Minaj.
It was like a Jeopardy question.
Duh, who is that? There could only be one person on the planet. Unless there's a Philly rapper that also dated Nicki that no one knows about, it's obviously Meek Mill.
He says, I'm gonna kill you academics, and what I'm gonna do is, he says, first things first, he says, someone send me academics address.
Right, he said, I'll die to shut you down.
Yeah, then he says, I'm going to die to.
But the internet wasn't buying it. A lot of people said it didn't come off as confidence, it came off like damage control. Then, out of nowhere, old clips started resurfacing. Meek laid back poolside with Diddy, looking far too comfortable for someone insisting there was never anything going on.
Hey, what's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Then alleged audio clips began circulating, with people online claiming the tone and energy between him and Diddy sounded far more personal than expected. But what if that recording is real? If it is, a lot suddenly starts to make sense. The silence, the tension, the fear. Just like Joe Rogan pointed out, some people aren't staying quiet because they support Diddy. They're quiet because speaking could ruin everything. So now the real question becomes this: who's staying silent to protect themselves, and who might be next to face exposure? Are these celebrities victims, accomplices, or something in between? And if Diddy ever decides to talk, whose legacy takes the first hit? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like, subscribe, and don't miss the next video on your screen, because the story only gets wilder from here.